Like, I'm stuck in the black library. Help me out.
No, that's not what this is. This is turning Warhammer into Goonhammer. And I've only got 100 turns to do it. This time, I'll be taking Morathi and turning her from a freak into a super freak. Now, Morathi is already pretty freaky. But hey, with War God's special sauce, it can always get more freaky-tastic. There's 4 stages to get through as Morathi descends deeper and deeper into Slaanesh's embrace. This is a narrative campaign, so our choices matter. The story will branch into different directions, and we can win or lose based solely on the choices we make in the campaign. Especially if we want to complete this before turn 100. I don't want to lose. I want to beat this campaign and maybe something else.
Hey, yo!
We will need to capture Lithanar, Malice Darkblade, and Nikari. Then we'll destroy Tyrion and his cheating wife. All while reuniting the elves, undoing the Sundering with Teclis, creating the High Elf super race of old. As we dominate the entire world with Mommy Morathi. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though. With only 100 turns to do this, we're gonna need to edge out a victory. But that is my specialty. Of course, we'll be playing on Legendary very hard with everything maxed out. Because that's just how we do it on the War God channel. Now this is my entire campaign run I did, edited up nice and clean from start to finish. So if you enjoy it even a little bit, drop some juicy support down below so you can get some of War God's special sauce. And let's get right into this with Mommy Morathi. Oh, am I excited to start this. Now there's a lot of mechanics I need to explain as we fight these first little easy battles here. So number 1, there's multiple ways you can progress. There's either the domination route, which is like domination mode, you know, fight troops. And then we have subination mode, like subscribe, like what you should do to the War God channel. And depending on where you go, different effects will happen to you and your entire faction. You can see on the top there, I have that little bar. I'll get into that one later. But for now, that's pretty much the main gist. This is a narrative campaign as well. So there's a story.
Are you sure?
Well, you know, we'll see. It's a little weird story, but it's still a story. And I hope you guys enjoy. This one, again, is a full campaign, and oh, I am excited for this. Starting off the campaign, we're going to just take out that first Dark Elf adversary. You can see here, we've already beaten them up pretty good. I hired an extra lord, by the way, so that I'm able to attack settlement to keep on moving Morathi's main army without actually getting trapped up there. And I'm able to get my entire starting province in essentially 4 turns. You can see here, we've already captured Grey Rock Point. Big advantage in the early game, 4 turns, 4 provinces. Pretty dang good. And I have multiple lords and Morathi's army almost full. So I decided I'm just going to keep on pushing and I'm attacking my Dark Elf compatriots. I also pop this little right over here, giving me the Dark Conduit, which will make a big boom boom explosion if it ever gets dangerous. Loot and occupy this minor Dark Elf's clan. I also get a peace treaty with Clan Greedius of the Skaven because I don't want to deal with them. I'm just going to leave Morathi's starting province and I'm going to instantly my goal. We got to get an oath one because I want that juicy donut. And to get that donut, I'm going to have to take out this entire minor faction. There's our final settlement. I'm able to auto-resolve it pretty easily.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
And I take that light work, baby. Now, I do take Arnharm, but I kind of made a mistake here because Mother Stanky is not a big fan of Mama Morathi.
No.
So I'm just hoping that she doesn't attack me here as the next turn goes on. And before we do that, let me explain to you how the submission and domination modes work. And again, I'm talking about subscribing. So basically, if you go to the submission mode, you get more growth. And if you go domination mode, Morathi gets stronger. But anywho, luckily Mamo Stanky doesn't attack and Morathi's able to save her old crinkly old hands. And I'm just gonna push onto Tor Anlik. There's some gold and unique landmark there, so I'm definitely looking to take that settlement. But
oh my god.
Stupid old bitch! Don't you ever declare war on me. Whatever, we'll deal with her later. I take Terranok. This minor faction is pretty weak, so I'm not too scared about them. But I am scared of Ostankia, to be honest, so I want to get peace with her.
I'm sorry!
I just tried, and I just saw I could just give her Arnheim. So you know what? F it, man. I'll just give her Arnheim, not deal with that old bitch. Oh, Stanky, you're going to regret that in the future. But for now, we can be quote-unquote friends, as we'll call it. And I'm going to keep on recruiting multiple lords and just building up Morathi's forces so I can just cascade and take over the entire donut. I also use a bunch of slaves to speed up my construction timing here, and it allows me to get the Amber Amulet, which will give me regeneration. Very strong for Morathi in the early game, and also allow me to get a bunch of sorceresses, which I'll bring to Morathi's armory. We also get another Black Ark over here, Admiral Fudion. We'll see how long he lasts, because I might make a couple mistakes with my Black Arks in this campaign. We continue attacking this minor faction. They're really weak. So yeah, get out of here, little bros. 5k gold, pretty good. Loot and occupy that. We want as many slaves as we can get, so we're able to just grow really fast, and we can also get money using the Dark Elf dictats and stuff like that. And with that, we go on to the next turn, but before I do that, I go looking around to see what allies I can make, and I see the Scourge of Cain here. And I'm like, oh, they want a non-aggression, and that look even better. Confederation, hell yeah, brother. 4 settlements for free? Hey, I like free, that's a nice price.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money.
And now we're right next to our Sineshi allies over there in Ikari. Pretty dang good. We got the Shrine of Cain on tier 2. I'm gonna want that in tier 3 pretty soon, cause I want the Sword of Cain. Hey, maybe it's not, you know, beneficial, but it just gives me that aura, man.
I don't need it. I need it!
Celestra was probably about to attack them, so I don't want her to do that same thing to me. Torx is pretty weak, so I'll just declare war on him, and then we already have peace with them, meaning I just got 4 free settlements. Now, they are red territories, but hey, it was free. I can't really complain now, can I? And I'm already going to start upgrading my Shrine of Cain to tier 3, as well as recruiting some shades that were in this settlements. Great Weapon Shades. They will take 2 turns because it's a red settlement, but still pretty good. We also get our first freaky mission over here, the Blank Codex. This is going to start off the corruption. Basically, there's a library, and we need to beat the defenders of the library to get the Blank Codex. The Blank Codex makes Morathi way stronger, but there's way too many rats over there, and I'm not going to be able to deal with that for quite a while. I'm going to need to build up Morathi's force and make sure that Mommy has that power to defeat all her enemies. And we take the Griffin Gate too. We're finally cracking that donut, getting into that backside. I have Sabioth too, the little assassin guy you start off with. I'm sending him out to find all my Dark Elf allies. Hopefully I can get some early confederations. Help me snowball in this campaign. I also get Ostankia. I trade her another settlement because it's not really providing me much value. And I figure I want to keep that old bitch on my good side. So I'll just give her another one and get a trade deal. Just make sure she doesn't double cross me and hit me with their bony hands of hers. We end the turn and Alariel the Radiant decides to attack me. I guess she thinks she's big. She thinks she's the queen. But I'm the only true queen here. And we also get this little cool event here. I didn't even know this was in the base game, but extra captives and raiding for free.
Money.
I like free. I continue pressing on to the Dark Elf Donut. I munch up the Altharian. Whitefire Tor. Yummy. We'll loot and occupy that. Next turn hits. And oh my, there's a lot of Alariel forces here. I definitely didn't think there was this many when I made this attack. Maybe I would have waited a little longer. But we're already in it, so we're just going to have to lock in. Sabioth, again, I'm going to switch his location to the top. Because I realized there's more Dark Elves at the top than the rest of the bottom. So I figured it'd be better to send him up there. We also take Evershale of Avalorn, pushing onto them. And we'll send Morathi in ambush stance there. Hopefully, Lariel gets active and tries to attack me and I get a free ambush. We'll see how that goes. Tyrion, her lovely wife, is also helping her out here. Kind of unfair, respect the 1v1, but there he is. He has a lot of armies. This could get really bad if I let him catch me off guard. Alariel also pulls up on her little boat, and they don't ultimately fall for my tricks. They're pretty smart. Mazda ends my non-aggression pack. Why did he do that? Kinda rude. We continue pressing on them. She leaves one army there for some reason, and I just take it. Hey, free food.
Yummy.
Free army, pretty good for me. But we do get counterattacked by Tyrion here. Decisive defeat. I don't really like that one, but it is what it is. Yeah, there is a lot of elves here. If they all just attack me at this point, there's no way I'm able to hold them off. So I'm just going for like guerrilla attacks. Running around, blowing up settlements, taking money, and running as fast as I can. Illyrio goes, and she hides inside of the Gaian Vale. And wow, that is a lot of elf force. While I do have a lot of dark elf force, because I've been building up 2 armies this entire time, I don't know if it's necessarily enough to break down those high elf gates. I do have the Dread Fleet as well, which I want to get an alliance with, to hopefully stave off some of Tyrion's aggro. Because if it's him plus Larry, this campaign's already going to be over. And Wargod doesn't want to lose. Wargod wants to win. That's just what I do. And then next turn, I think I'm going to have to take the Gaian Vale. If I don't take the Gaian Vale now, I'm going to be on the run from these high elves the entire campaign. And I am the Predator. I am the one who knocks. I don't run. I fight. That's why I'm Wargod, not Warpusio, man. So there's Baddie Morathi. I'm making sure she has all her spells right now. She's only like level 13, which is not crazy, but I do have the shades that I recruited earlier. I managed to bring them over, and I have 2 full stacks and a little stack of this lady, so we'll see if that's enough. But there's a lot of force in the Gaian Vale, and it'll also end up being a siege too, so it's gonna be a long day with the Dark Elves, my friends. The Dark Elves versus the High Elves. Tale as old as time. The Queen versus the Crone. I think we got this though. I'm confident. War Guide, light work. You know how it goes. Fight that battle. Starting off the battlefield, we're instantly just gonna bum rush the walls. They buffed gate health in the campaigns recently, so it's much better to just walk up the walls instead of breaking down the gates. So that's what I do. While my Dark Chargers shoot at the walls for whatever's there. There's some Phoenix Guard and Silver in there, so I want to target them first as they're the highest value targets. And Dread Spears are not going to do anything to them in melee, so that's really my only way to kill them. While Morathi will just be constantly doing the sucky spell on everybody. Soul Stealers and that one shadow spell that I can't remember, she's going to keep casting that. I cast it on the archers because they were poking down some of my demonettes and witch elves pretty hard, getting messed up. But I do get a really nice dark conduit here as a bunch of rangers and spearmen blob up on this master. I pop that there. It pops up them pretty good. I kind of miss it with the camera here. Sorry, but I was locking in. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Another Soul Stealer goes down to hopefully suck them off, get them off my sight, and I can push in with my Dread Spears and maintain a good offense so I can get my archers in position. Because right now the archers are kind of, I don't know if the line of sight was messed up or what, but it just felt like they weren't shooting. My second army comes in, but as they do, Larry decides to actually land on Morathi for some reason and a master and attacks him. Hey, that works for me. I don't know why she's trying to fight 2 anti-large units as a generic caster, but apparently it's working out because Morathi is absolutely getting fucked up. Well, now she may like that normally, but listen, War God doesn't like that, Morathi, so you're gonna need to lock in. A bunch of the Dread Spears I sent to the high ground have already gotten taken out. Yeah, it's not going great to be honest in the campaign so far, but luckily I do just have a ton of Soul Stealers and again, I don't even know what that spell is. My mind is blanking, but who cares? The main goal here, we need to kill Illyrio. Hopefully with breaking Illyrio, I know High Elves have a lot of leadership, but I'm just hoping it'll be enough to get this battle won. And we just keep sending more forces, more forces. We finally get the Great Weapon Shades in here. They can shoot into some of the Treekin that Illyrio has, but there's just so many. For every one elf I kill, there's like 10 more on the way. Somebody talking about some high elf population crisis? I don't believe it. I cast another Dark Conduit over there, blows them up, does tons of damage, but I don't even think that's good enough. I need way better Dark Conduits. I need to be killing like 5 units per Dark Conduit, because there are just so many Dark Elves. Not Dark Elves, High Elves! Yeah. Sorry, I don't see color. What can I say? But we keep on pressing them here. She even has her Sister of Avalorn pulling up here, and she's doing tons of damage into me. If Morathi gets shot by them, she has fire weakness, so she'll take hella damage, and she's already super low. Both of my masters are also dead at this point, so it's pretty good. I kind of go in for this desperate play of just sending in my Black-Eyed Corsair handbells as melee troops, because I don't know what these High Elves are smoking, but they just did not rout, and their melee defense stayed staunch and hard, and I was not able to push through them. We finally did run out their reinforcements, and they had no more reinforcements, but I was running on complete fumes at this point. I mean, what do I even have? I have a couple Black-Eyed Corsair handbows. Morathi's on like 2 HP. All my masters are dead. My other lord is dead. One of my casters is fully dead. My other caster is almost dead. No infantry essentially. It's really just a shade great weapons. Morathi dukes it out with the little handmaiden there with the master. Hopefully their little Eiffel Tower maneuver is enough to take her out. Newsflash, it was not. And ultimately there's just way too many Dark Elves. Look at that. And the full health Silver Helm too. And it's ultimately not enough. So I realized this. I need to cut my losses before I lose even more. So I just pull out everybody and try to retreat off the battlefield. And by the way, I click withdraw here. And for some reason, these stupid ass Dark Elves decide to walk into the city when I tell them to retreat. How does that track? It doesn't. But we lose the battlefield. It says draw. But I lost all my troops. I don't really consider that a draw game. I don't appreciate the sarcasm. So yeah, we lose pretty much entirety of Morathi's army. Maybe I should have restarted the campaign at this point because it was a long day. But listen, I don't give up. I'm War God, not War Pusio. You already know how it is. So I run back on the game, and now it's a Pyrrhic victory. For as much as we took tons of damage, they also took tons of damage. And Morathi does have regeneration, and she'll get her magic back. So I'm hoping it'll be enough then to win this battlefield. I recruit some R-Wars as well just to help out with my girth. Starting off the battlefield, I send the Crows of Cain and Morathi along with the Shade. And this is all I'm hoping I'll need to win this battlefield, because the rest of my army, if they take any damage, they'll just fully get wiped out. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm hoping it'll be enough here. The Crows do okay harassing the enemy units on the walls. Morathi kills their main lord, but she's getting shot up by a handmaiden, which again, she's weak to fire, so I definitely don't want that. Morathi, you're gonna need to take her out right now. I get some of the Shades from my reinforcements pulled up as well. I don't even know what. I gotta remember what that is called. But the shadow, big spell over there pops on them, on a bunch of archers and spearmen, while Morathi keeps giving Melkoffs the sucky. You know, Morathi's the master of that stuff. She's getting them down pretty good. She goes triple speed, and we win the battlefield pretty easily. I mean, that one, not the first one. But we're in a really bad position here. As you might imagine, Tyrion, 2 full stacks. Ilario still has a full stack of her own. So if they counterattack me right now, the campaign is literally over. There's definitely no way I'm going to be able to recover. So I kind of just get on my knees and pray. And this stupid idiot, Tyrion, attacks my gate for a Pyrrhic victory for me and loses it and loses a full army. This brother is literally stupid. I don't know what to tell you. But hey, it works out for me. Thank you, Game Sama. I appreciate it. But it's not over yet, and he's sending the rest of his armies at me. But it's not over yet. He's sending the rest of the armies he does have at me, as well as Ilario sending an army at me. Now, I was able to get some replenishment, because this is a couple turns in the future, but we ambush them, and we get that one done pretty good. I'll take that auto-resolve, and then we move on to the next turn. That was the last of Ilario's main forces, and also, I didn't even know this could happen, but apparently, pirates can attack black arcs and settlements. And yes, this is the only black arc I had in the campaign. There's no way I can win this. They just have objectively better troops, and I lose my only black arc. This means I'm no longer getting extra recruitment. I'm no longer getting extra replenishment. It's a long day, so that sucks. But what doesn't suck is Morathi, from fighting all those battles, gets her next upgrade, and I'm going to go down the treacherous line to give more captive gains from all battles fought in the future, as well as giving ward save to my whole army, so that's pretty strong. Again, he attacks the same wall, but he does win this time. I guess he wasn't going to take that loss sitting down. Tyrion, that is. But I mean, that's fine by me. That's a wall I took and didn't upgrade, so not too bad. Lario's trying to build up some more forces. Tyrion's trying to build up more forces, but I'm gonna try to clamp it now, end her before she can rebuild, and I take the white tower. I don't like that it's called that. I prefer to call it the black tower now. Dark Elves on top. And back in the Shrine of Cain, we do actually get it to tier 3, and that allows us to get the Sword of Cain. I recruit a Lord, and you click this button, boom, Sword of Cain. It's just that easy. Now, was this a smart idea? No. But was it cool? Yes. So now this lady has the Sword of Cain. She is going to be girthy and strong. Huh? But apparently Eltharion wasn't a fan of that, and he ends up declaring war on me as afterwards. Okay, buddy. You're going to find out what's going to happen to you real soon. Morathi's stack has to keep pushing on Ilario, so I can't bring something back to deal with this little Tyrion army. So here's my plan. I send this little lord with just himself in range of the enemy Tyrion's forces, to hopefully he attacks him. I'm going to retreat, and then the gate can come out and attack him. That was the plan. We'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, we're going to lose all the territory we just gained. So, yeah, I'm hoping that one does work out. Morathi, though, does push on and takes out the last Larry settlement. Bye-bye. There's only room for one queen on Ulthuan, and it's Mommy Morathi. Oh, she's so bad. Eltharion, though, does have another army that pulls up in Force March, and I figure there's no time like the present, and I attack it. Now, maybe I was a little lazy, and I should have fought this one manually, but I ultimately decided to auto-resolve it because, listen, it's a long day, bro, and it wasn't that bad of an auto-resolve. I only lost 2 demonettes. It's okay. Morathi's gonna need a pullback, though, to her army in Port El Esor, and we should be okay. I mean, there's another Eltharion army there, but I don't think they can reach us, so it should be okay. Get a free little pick. Things are going pretty well for us right now. Avalorn 2, we're going to use some slaves to make it up to the next rank. And you can see here, we actually get unique landmarks for taking it. This one here allows us to recruit the tree units that Ilario has. This one gives growth and control. And this one gives Slanesh corruption for the faction wide, as well increasing our trade tariffs. I'm going to start off by getting the tree one, because I think some malevolent treemen would be pretty strong for my armies. Tyrion does ultimately end up attacking me, but is he going to fall for it? And he does. I don't know what's wrong with AI. They're pretty stupid. Maybe I'm just too smart. But this, again, going to be another just Pyrrhic victory. Light work. I'm not going to lie. I did kind of get lucky. But also, I just thought 10 steps ahead. Maybe it's a skill issue on their part, huh? Maybe you need to do better, Tyrion. Meh. Now, Eltharion, though, he did reach me. But luckily, I'm able to actually auto-resolve it, it seems. And I'm only going to lose 3 Dread Spears. So, hey, screw it, man. I'll just do that. I don't really feel like fighting and, you know, working my booty off. So light work, baby. Eltharion still has more armies and strength than me, despite me taking out 2 full armies. So that's a long day. I continue pushing on Tyrion settlement. I'm trying to get to Lothorn because obviously that's a very nice settlement. And I'm actually able to get 2 settlements in 1 turn. And this is why I have so many armies here. So I could take 1 army, attack the settlement, take it, land in there. And then my bigger army with Morathi can go to another settlement, take that one. and it allows me to just get a lot more done in a singular turn, because it's only turn 20, and I've already almost reached Ult 1. But before I can get to Ult 1, we have probably our second hardest battle in the campaign yet, maybe even my hardest. Tyrion with the full stack, Morathi stack super low, the masters are basically out of here. And just looking at the battlefield, it doesn't look possible. First order of that Dark Elf business, we're going to be hiding up in the trees because I can't deal with this many high ups. There's just too damn many of them. So the only thing I can really do is run away. And I'm going to start the segment that I like to call Mommy Morathi, please save me. Please, please, please. And I hope that's enough to win the battlefield, because if it's not, we lose, and I don't like losing. Starting off the battlefield, you can see we're just gonna hit with Soul Stealer, sack, 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 glug, glug, glug. Big boom boom. What the hell is that spell called, man? Oh, my brain is rotting. I don't even know. But Morathi is doing pretty good here. You see her running around. She's got the regen, and as long as I keep her on the move and away from Tyrion, she should be safe. We have a lot of Wham, but of course it's not infinite. I'm gonna try to break down Tyrion because I don't really have any great ways of killing him. I could theoretically shoot him with my shades, but the shades are in the trees, so I don't know how much they're really gonna do here. Eventually, they do reach our front line when Morathi runs out of magic. But by the time they arrive, Tyrion is so low, his army is so low, I'm able to send in Morathi. And I didn't know Morathi was packing like that, but she hits him with that backshot and manages to kill Tyrion in melee. Good job, Mommy Morathi. And my shades have just so much firepower at this point. Even though there's trees in the way, they're able to just shoot up any sort of cav or infantry that even tries. And we get the heroic victory, because we are all heroes on the inside. And of course, I'm going to take the captives because I need replenishment rate. Hopefully, there's not an Arthurian army or something. There's a Beastman army. But I cannot get attacked again this turn, or else I definitely am not making it out. Oh my god, why is this campaign so hard? There's just so much to do. Fighting all those battles though, we are able to afford a lot of money, meaning I'm going to get even stronger armies, and I'm going to get tier 2 of that Malevolent Treeman building. So hopefully I can get some Dryads in my armies, hopefully get me some better infantry, maybe. We're going to attack Lothern finally too. That one army that Tyrion sent us was basically his last final gambit, and we're able to auto-resolve Lothern pretty easily here. Yummy! Loot and occupy that for sure. The gates of Lothern in this campaign are different. I don't look at them here, but I'll show you them later on. But basically, they provide tons of money and trade income, so that's pretty nice. And I do get my Admiral back. Look, guys, he's back. It's like he never even left. I'm sure he'll stay with us for a long time. Yeah. The turn ends. You can see Hellebron in the north. She's getting attacked by... What is she get? She's getting attacked by both Valkia and Sigvald. So I'm going to look to confederate her before her dies. And ooh, a pirate ship attacks my Black Ark. Okay. And then he attacks again. And we lose the Black Ark as soon as we get it back. Yeah, long day, I know. But yeah, so bye-bye Black Ark. He's already gone. But you know what? We're not going to take it sitting down. Morathi is going to counterattack them. I'm not going to auto-resolve it because losing 3 Demonettes for this shitty-ass army these stupid, worthless idiots are in is not worth it. So I'll just send in Morathi. She's going to start off the battlefield trying to duel with this bald-headed loser. But apparently he is not so much of a loser because he actually duels pretty well against Morathi. And I end up having to just cast a bunch of Soul Stealers to actually kill him. Luckily, Morathi, again, she just has so many spells on her kit. Yes, we will destroy these Empire men. Give them the sucky, sucky, Morathi. Take their life force from them. Sounds good to me. Ultimately, though, come on, you really thought I was going to lose to these losers? No, they pull up on my army eventually. But by the time they do, Morathi has already done so much damage to them. The Shades are able to just like gling, 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 gling. And bust them down pretty easily. And we end up winning that battle. Decisive victory, nice. Give me your souls. I'm going to put you in the darkest dungeon. Because why do I keep losing my Black Arks? Can't ever make it out. Yeah, you're definitely getting sent to the special dungeon, buddy. Oh yeah, you'll meet consequences real fast. Anywho, we're gonna keep pressing on. I'm pretty sure this is the last settlement for Tyrion, so bye-bye. Maybe we'll see him later, maybe we won't. You guys will have to find out, but yes, we take out Tyrion, and this is pretty much the Donut conquered. I mean, there's not really much else they can do here. I think there's just Eltharion left. We also start getting some Treekin from upgrading the Gaian Veil to tier 3. So that's pretty cool. They're really tanky. They're going to pair well with my Shades. But Mazda Money, apparently, I did something to him. I don't know what. And now we've got literally this like strength rank 1, 2, or 3 Lizardman army attacking us. Where we have no armies in our settlements. So thank you, you fat fucking frog. Kill yourself. Sorry. I didn't mean that, YouTube. Anyways, yeah, Mazda Money, I tried the trick I did with no stanky bitch, but it ultimately does not work out. Apparently, he really hates me for some reason. I have no beef with you. I don't even know who you are, but apparently I did something to him But ultimately, the only thing I can do right now is just sell my settlements to the Skaven. At least I'll get something rather than just letting Mazamundi get them for free. With Morathi to try to finish off the last little elf resistance, which should be Eltharion. Now, I'm going to be honest. I did not think that Eltharion had any forces. Now, maybe that was from a lack of judgment from me, and I'm a little dumb, but he did have more forces, and they came out girthy, and oh my god, there's 3 full stacks. It says valiant defeat, but ain't nothing valiant about this defeat. You know, I tried what I tried before. I said, Mommy Morathi, please save me. But she couldn't save me, guys. She don't want to be saved, so I couldn't save her. Oh, I don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Oh my gosh, yeah. So they just instantly bum rush my armies. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Demonettes are not very good against fighting Cavs. So they get instantly run over by the Silverhelms. It's a long day, and also my Shades are out of position, and I have to get them on this hill here, because there's trees everywhere. I need some sort of line of sight to shoot, and I do actually manage to kill the first army, but I take so much damage. My Masters are almost dead, all my Shades are almost dead. Morathi is still relatively healthy, but I'm running literally pretty low on WOM. I try to snipe out the lords of that second army that's coming in here. Hopefully before they get to me, cause some leadership breaks. Sucky here, sucky there. But as I try to pull out Morathi, because I realize it's not going very good for me. I try to pull out Morathi as much as I can, but she actually gets gripped to the floor. Normally she's doing that, but in this case, the High Elves were doing it to her. And that grip was intense because she was not able to fly up in the sky. And she ends up getting routed off. And I'm pretty sure she gets killed. Yeah, she does here. And yeah, it's a long day when Morathi dies. So we take our final stand against the second push, and it doesn't go that well. I mean, the Masters have like no HP. I try my hardest, but they just push. 3 big, juicy High Elf armies, and that's going to thwart my push into ult 1. I don't know how I'm going to really recover from this. I think I might just cut my losses here, because I ain't making it out. I will fight to the end, though, because I never give up until it's over. Valiant defeat. I feel like I did pretty good for what was given to me. They end up blowing up Car Tornell, and I did actually end up recruiting Crone Hellebron, and I replaced her with Morathi, and I'm just going to take her back to Lothland to recruit some troops, get her nice and healthy. Also, in case you've been wondering what the little lady that got the Sword of Cain has been doing, I've been building her up with her own army to go and attack that old bitch, that old hag, Ostankya, because she needs to get disciplined. And I get the Black Arc on her, attacking her. And I get some reinforcements here because I really don't want to fight this one in melee. I don't even know if I'd win it, to be honest, because all the little hexes that Ostankya has are really OP. When you fight them in battle, they do more than the auto-resolve. So I'll take the auto-resolve. I already lost 1 battle. I'm not feeling to lose another. Crone Hellebron is also coming over to help out with the Lizardmen because they're really my biggest threat right now. I'm hoping that both Nakari and Noculus are going to be able to hold back Eltharion and he won't harass me. At least that's the goal. I do have an army getting recruited back in the Quintex as well, in my starting settlement as well, and with that I'm able to re-recruit Morathi there with a couple of Morathis. That goes pretty hard, and she should be able to fend off that Lizardman army pretty easily if they even decide to attack me. But as I'm sending Crone Hellebron over there to reinforce me, we get ambushed by the little beastie men. And yeah, it's a long day. I really thought I was going to lose everything at this point because my entire army is ranged, if you kind of notice here. They might be hybrid range, but that doesn't really matter in the face of the beast men. But I was really confused of like, where are they? And I look, and I still don't see them. Where is this army? There's a couple of them, and is that a rock? You'll find out where that's coming from pretty soon. But there's some Minotaurs I need to take out right at the start because if they run through my back line, they're going to kill me. But for some reason, they just don't do anything. And what? Did you see that on the left there? Because on the left flank, there is 5 Cygors. Yeah. You'd think it'd be more scary than it actually was, but they just threw the rocks, didn't really do much damage, and I was able to just walk up to them and shoot them with my crossbows, so it didn't really end up being that much of a problem. Thank you, Beastie Boys, for the free money. Cha-ching! Yeah, 5 Cygors is crazy, but they didn't do anything, bro. It was a waste of time. So come over here, Beastie Boys, and I get the auto-resolve, finishing them off. Crone Hellebron, she might be old, but she got experience, okay? And I finally do get another Black Arc from Confederate and Hellebron. And with this Black Arc here, I'm also going to be sending it to the Lizardmen. Hopefully I can keep it alive by keeping an army near it, because I'm kind of tired of having a Black Arcs getting instantly eliminated. Morathi and all these 3 armies are going to regroup together. Mazamundi's there, but we'll just ignore him. I already sold Greyrock Point to the Crone Hellebron Hag to get a peace treaty with her, because I can only deal with 1 army at one time, man. Leave me alone. I put all my strongest troops into Morathi's army, and this should be plenty to deal with any sort of lizard force that comes at me. Madussi, Shades. I even have a ally recruited Chosen Warrior, which can hopefully hold the line. Crone Hellebron comes in with a Black Arc here. He's gonna take out Master Money's settlements. As he tried to attack me, he didn't leave anything defending his homeland, so we're able to get that pretty good. I like that pretty nice. Crone wants a Hag Witch stack, which he doesn't have, but I'll get it later. For now, you're just gonna get some shades, but I'll start recruiting those Hag Witches to give her a nice, juicy stack. Lord Master Money lands on my lands. I'll probably just sell those to that minor Dark Elf settlement faction that came back, because I don't want to deal with that. Hellebron continues pressing on. There's a large Lizardman force here, but apparently I win that auto resolve pretty easily. I'll take it. I don't think it would really be that easy, but if the game wants to give it to me, I will take it. Morathi and this other army with the Sword of Cain are also pushing up here. Oh yeah, they're going to destroy anything. I think the entirety of the Lizardman force could fight this, and we'd win. Morathi's like that, and we got Sword of Cain. Oh yeah, they ain't beating us. But we get our next event for the Sword of Cain. Am I going to keep it? Yes, of course I will keep it, bro. The Sword of Cain gives you aura, man. Come on, it's epic. That army ultimately decided to run away from me like a Pusio because he's so scared of Morathi. Maybe it was smart, I guess it was. But ultimately, we're going to take Hexalotl, so I don't know. Why would you not just go in Hexalotl? It really doesn't make much sense to me. But hey, man, if the AI wants to be stupid, game is game. I'll take what I can. And I auto-resolve that with another army I bring in with some of the extra shades that Crone Hellebron recruited, and we take Hexalotl. And that's pretty much going to noodle the Lizardmen. I mean, they have two armies still. They have Master Money's army, which I'm going to be sending Crone Hellebron to deal with. And then I have that other army that ran away from Morathi already, which I will just send Morathi to deal with. Pretty easy to me. You can see Port Reaver, but we're going to keep recruiting shades. We want our armies to be as strong as they can, because in the late stage of the campaign, things ramp up pretty hard because my reliability is going to take a massive hit once we get a certain special event. Now we continue pressing that other army here in Swamp Town. We auto-resolve it as well with Morathi. There's a reason why he ran away from me, and it works out pretty good for me. I check with my Dark Elf allies to see if I can get any confederations. I can't. I guess they're just not fans of me. Like, I thought we were chill like that, but apparently not. But we're finally in a safe enough position to where I think we can fight it. We can take on the Black Codex quest battle against those dirty rats. But Morathi is pretty strong at this point, and I have Shades, and I have Madussi. Yeah, Death Runners, Flamethrowers, Slingers, Hell Pit A-Bomb, 5 Sensor Bears, that's a little scary. Okay, maybe it's a little more scary than I thought, but I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. It says close victory, and I think that's pretty accurate. Flamethrowers goes right on Morathi's face. She's not good with the green stuff, only the white stuff, so she's not going to like that. We'll have to pull her out. She does have weakness with the fire because she does have regen from that one item. I just cast the Sucky Wiki, and we get some of the Sensor Bears. We want to drain them down as much as I can before they reach my front line, because we're going to have to fight a lot of battles in the coming turns. So if we take too much damage in this quest battle, things can go bad and cascade really quick, especially if Distankia decides to attack me again. She's just trying to hit him from the back as much as she can. But ultimately, they do push forward and just kind of ignore Morathi. But as they push forward, they send the Lord by themselves. And a word is going to light that brother up. I say, everybody shoot him, and he goes down. And next, the A-Bomb, you're going down too. We're taking down all the high value stuff first, so that makes it easier to deal with the rest. And you can see the Madussis are tearing up the infantry. The Sensor Bears are like the perfect target, and they're literally getting blown up. These are tier 5 elite infantry just getting one shot by the Madussi. I love some good Madussi. Hell Pit A-Bomb goes down. Rat Ogres come in for the desperate charge. They ain't gonna do nada. Morathi comes another sucky on the Plague Claw catapults. Things are looking up in this battlefield, and I think we won this one. Maybe I could have fought this battle earlier to get into the freaky stuff, but we were having a really rough time with the High Elves, man. There was a lot of them. But we're finally gonna be able to fight this first battle and beat it up and get that victory royale. Madussis keep shooting the Scave, and you can see they just pop them every time they shoot. And there we go, we got the win. Nice, decisive victory. We get a lot of money for winning these battles. I don't know, I think there's something I get like post-battle loot options with one of the technologies. We get the Blank Codex, and if you want to know exactly what it does, we have minus 10 cooldown to all spells, more research rate, minus wins on magic cost, and a scaling spell mastery, which means the more kills I get, the more damage my spells will actually do, which is pretty damn good. I respect that. Definitely worth fighting that battle for. End the turn, Master Money does end up landing on my lands, and he takes a Ziggurat of Dawn, but I didn't really care about the Ziggurat of Dawn, and he's just gonna get counterattacked from Crone Hellebron, so that works out for me, to be honest. More importantly, we get the first freaky event. Let me tell you what exactly is happening here in a concise way, a friendly way, with no extra fluff. So what the Codex basically is you ask the Codex questions and it'll give you answer to those questions, But you have to give it a certain amount of sacrifices, maybe a couple freaky things, you know, something strange for some change. But you do all this stuff and the codex will answer any question you have for it. So she asked it an important question. How were the Chaos Gods born? And upon learning this information, Morathi hatches a very sinister plan to try to become a Chaos God, maybe? I don't know, it doesn't tell us yet. But basically, the first step in her plan to potentially become a Chaos God is she needs to deal with Slaanesh. Because dealing with Slaanesh means she's going to be able to get a lot of power, but it's going to be risky because if Slaanesh takes over, you know what's going to happen. And as she reads it, a little later on, something happens. While Morathi's sitting in her throne room, an emissary comes over, and they happen to be Bubblegum Pink. And if you remember from the Narative Campaign, you know how this goes. The Bubblegum Pink emissary comes in, and she brings along with her somebody who resembles Anarian. Yes, Morathi's husband, Anarian, the original badass who single-handedly pulled the Sword of Cain and saved pretty much the entire world. So this cloaked figure comes up, and it looks like him. Morathi's not too happy about this revelation, and she slaps him a little bit, gets his head, and and it's no magic. This is just the dude. They did like Slaaneshi surgeries on him, I suppose, and it turned him into looking exactly like him. And Morathi ends up liking it. It's a little weird, but you know. He says, "Your Highness, I come bearing a challenge." The court goes silent. Basically, Slaanesh wants to offer a deal. If Morathi can capture Lithanar, that sneaky little elf, and give him to Slaanesh, then Morathi will get more power from him, proving that she's worthy of that Slaaneshi power, and he will give her that bubblegum pink chug jug to make her much stronger. And Morathi, of course, accepts this challenge, and we're gonna have to track down Lithanar's stupid ass and hunt that brother down, turn him from the predator to the prey that is hiding. Ooh, Lithanar, I know what's gonna happen to you, and it's not gonna be good, you slippery rat. Okay, let's start it off. Declare war on the Wanbo, the Jade Dragon. We're just gonna need to keep making money, keep getting slaves. It's the Dark Elf economy, baby. Cathay's gonna provide me the necessary bodies I need to keep on feeding the Codex. Yummy. And we're gonna take off the federal Hexolotl settlement here as well, so Hexolotl's not gonna have no more problems to have with me. Also, Lithanar, turns out there's just a quest battle to go fight him. That's a lot easier than tracking him down, so I said, hey, we're in a pretty safe position and Mommy Morathi is pretty strong, so I fight the battle. Starting off, you already know how it goes. You send out Mommy Morathi. Send her with the Soul Stealer, the big suck, the small suck. We get it done. I try to get as much damage as I can before they enter my front line. Now, Lithanar's army is kind of a counter to mine because he does have Shadow Walkers which have much higher range than my Shades. So if they start poking down my Shades from afar and my Medusas, it could actually get dangerous in this battle. Luckily though, the Medusas are destroying his infantry. That is disgusting, the actual damage they're able to do on the spear units. As they come in instantly, 1, 2, 3 Medusa shots, and they just instantly get blown up. Look at that, that was a full spearman. Instantly obliterated. Morathi wouldn't even need to save me from this one. I mean, Lithanar himself is like one of the worst lords in the game, so I don't really put no respect on his name. But I still want to play this safely because we could get counterattacked by Yombo. But this battle, at least, was a pretty easy victory. And we get that decisive victory royale. Get those extra slaves, get that extra money. And we're pretty good, and we get that next event. Or at least we will next turn. Not yet. But we do get it. Lithanar has been captured and is in our dungeon. And I didn't realize this, but you actually can confederate him once you do that. I saw this message and I was just really confused at this point. And I look up and I say, is that Tyrion? Why is Tyrion back? Okay, so why Tyrion is back, when you confederate a Lithanar, you only get his home settlement and his armies, while all the other territory that he had converts into a valid High Elf faction. But for some reason, that valid High Elf faction was Tyrion for some reason. So yeah, now there's Tyrion here. I'm just going to declare war on him though and retake these settlements because he has no army, so free food, I'll take it. Oh, this is just a rebel army, by the way. That's not an actual Hexolotl army. So I can deal with that one pretty easy with the Crone Hellebron. While Elon Lifequencher, yeah, his name's Elon. I was also wondering through my entire campaign, I was like, Elon Musk? No, just Elon. He's pushing through and attacking Yonbo as well. We want to make sure he's not able to build up a big force and counterattack me. Tyrion does get re-recruited in Slaver's Point. But he's not going to do anything by himself, so meh. And by the way, Lithanar's armies, yeah, they're High Elf armies. We're able to control High Elves in this campaign, which is pretty damn cool. A lot of different stuff you're able to do. I like it. But we get the next event, commuting the alliance with the Lithanar. Obviously, we captured Lithanar. He's chained up. My brother's locked up before Morathi. And he's not in for a good time. He says some pretty mean things to Morathi. That's not very kind of him. Come on, Alithanar. Alithanar is using foul language against Morathi, and we do not tolerate foul language on the War God channel. That is not okay, so Morathi has to give my guy some discipline. And we hit him with the and the Slaanesh emissary seems quite pleased and offers Morathi her first gift. Now here's the thing, we got 3 methods right now. So we got the domination, like the mode, we got the subscriber method, and the super domination mode. Now, me being War God, I was a little partial to the super domination mode. You know War God loves playing domination. Yeah, that's definitely why. So you know what? Suffer not the fool. I'm not gonna take nothing from this Slaanesh emissary. How dare he look at me? I didn't realize what Morathi was gonna do though when I clicked this option. She kind of took it to the next level. So Morathi ends up zapping the brains of the emissary, and he blows up like popcorn his brain. And that's the end of the mod. Yeah, we lose. So yeah, I guess you could technically consider this a loss, because Morathi, basically this option, Morathi gets super pissed and blows up the head of the Slaanesh emissary, ending the entire corruption right there. And I guess we don't be freaky. Wait, but I know secret tech. Don't you ever wish?
Wish we could turn back time.
What's that? Oh yeah. Of course I'm gonna pick a strong hand, because I want that domination mode. But suffer not the fool, that's too much, man. Come on, we'll just do a strong hand. And okay. Now if I were to explain what happened when she clicks that mode, Morathi decides to discipline him by practicing out her new kickboxing moves that she learned from Malekith. So she starts using Alithanar as a kickboxing bag, and she starts going clang, glong, glong, boom, hitting it really hard. And eventually Morathi hits the punching bag so hard that it blows up into a puff of white sand. And that's what happens. And now Alithanar knows not to disrespect Mommy and Morathi. Never use that foul language with Mommy and Morathi, or you know what's gonna happen.
Hello.
And with that, we've successfully completed the first stage of progression, and we actually get a lot of stuff for this. Ignore the text on the top, I'm sure it's not important and nothing weird. Diplomatic relations plus 20 with all factions, nice. Plus 10 hit points, super nice. Vigor loss reduction, minus 15% for the whole army, again nice. Speed, mass, minus spell resistance, it's okay, Morathi gets it naturally. Minus cooldowns of spells, Marcus Slaanesh, Strider, and she gets even badder. What's not to love about it? I'll take that upgrade. Slaanesh, he's a kind guy. He must be. Or kind female? I don't know what he is, but I approve. Anywho, this is the new model for Morathi. Yeah, it's pretty dang good. They always cook with these. I don't know who does it exactly. I'm pretty sure it's lazy, but you always cook, my brother. He always delivers. And Morathi, I need a 5-minute break. Ooh, and I'm back. And it looks like I'm just in time for us to beat Alistar's ass. What a loser. Why is he wearing a furry cloak? I don't know, kind of sus to me. But yeah, we're just gonna take all these Tyrian settlements. I mean, hey, it's free, man. It's for me. And I'm gonna start recruiting Sisters of Slaughters too for my Black Arcs. Finally, after them not dying in every 3 seconds, I'm able to get some higher tier troops, along with an Avalorn and the Gan Vale, using my slaves to get these buildings up. Slash corruption faction wide, hell yeah. Diplomatic relations minus with the Wood Elves, it's not that bad. And we get the next event, Malice's Cabal. So this one, basically, Slaanesh urges me to take on Ulthuan, and we need to capture Malice, or more specifically, the greater demon in Malice's body, Zarkan. And we're in a pretty safe position, so I'll fight this battle right away. I'm sure it won't be that tough. Okay, well I didn't think it'd be tough, but then I saw his army. Blackguard, Executioner, Shades out the wazoo. Yowza! Getting into the battlefield, I just want to take a moment to appreciate this map. Man, this shit looks cool as hell. Also, what is this thing? I don't know, it looks pretty cool, but he looks like I don't know, a retarded dolphin? I got no clue. But I don't see Malice's army here, so I was a little confused. I sent Morathi to search for him too, and I didn't see his army. And then I turned around and I realized, oh no, Malice's army is behind me. That's not good. Quickly, turn it around, turn it around. Yeah, hopefully we can turn around before Malice gets here. I think we'll be able to because he did spawn from far away. Okay, so we get reformatted and now we're ready to start getting that fight on. Morathi, you already know she's gonna go into the backline harassing them with sucky, 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 rocky. And they'll do pretty good on them. While the Medusies will try to shoot out those Executioners and Agroth Guard, they're really gonna have to put in a whole masterclass here because there's a ton of elite infantry. And they are doing good damage, but my front line already collapsed. The Treekin are gone. The handbows are gone. The only thing left is the Chaos Warriors. Hopefully they can hold the line for a little bit longer. I'll be casting Burning Hands and Sucky Suckies in the back line because his shades are, they're kind of diffing me right now with all the cheats he has. And a big, massive amount of his infantry is ready to push through after my front line falls. And this battle got really dangerous pretty fast. I was thinking it might go to a Mommy Morathi please save me situation, but luckily with a couple soul stealers and the shades kind of locking in, they did a ton of damage to his front line, and we're getting through them actually pretty effectively. One of my Morathis almost died, so that was a little scary, but the rest of the Morathis, they just destroyed their front line, and ultimately with Morathi casting that sucky on their back line, my masters beating their masters in the sky, and we just kind of outplay the AI. I don't know, I guess they need the Mark Zuckerberg upgrade, huh? Yeah, take that fat L, take it Malice. And oh my gosh, let me tell you brother, this is the biggest mistake you will ever make in your entire life. And I'm sorry Malice for what's going to happen to you in the future. I'm really sorry. But we're going to take some slaves. We need the replenishment. Who knows what Yombo is cooking to counterattack me. Anyway, we do get the defeat trait also for killing Malice, so that's pretty nice. Complete the quest. You know, little easy, little light work. We won't talk about me facing the wrong direction at the start of Battlefield. Meh. Anywho, you had to get a Confederate Malice from fighting this battle too. Again, I didn't realize this, but I quickly went to check on my settlements, and when you Confederate Malice, it was like a normal one. I got all of his territories, there's about 4 armies there, so that made me extremely broke, but I'll deal with that later. For now, I'm going to go back to the south and beat up more of Yombo's armies to hopefully give me enough money to be okay, and delete some of Malice's armies too once I go back to the north. I need money really badly, so I just fight whoever closest to me, which happens to be these demon boys, so I'm just going to attack them right away. Also, Miao Ying we discover, you know, girl power, we gotta stick together. It looks like she's getting a little freaky up in her lands as well, but we'll get a trade deal with her and Katerin, because 2 baddies is always better than 1. We'll also recruit some Cold One Knights to put in Malice's army eventually. He reduces the upkeep cost of them by 50%, so it should be pretty damn good. Next turn hits and one of my lord dies, and I was really confused at this, and I was like, what is this? And then I realized it, oh, we captured Malice, so he can't be in an army. I guess that kind of makes sense. Anywho, this is the next freaky event. And let me just say, oh my god, this is probably the second worst event in the mod. Oh my gosh, this one is so bad, but I'll explain to you real fast what happens here. So basically, the reason why Morathi needed Malice was not really Malice, it was for Zarkan, because Zarkan's a greater demon, and if she's able to study him, she can get a 1-up over Slaanesh, and hopefully not fully fall into his gifts and just get the power without getting the extra stuff, we'll call it. But anywho, basically she got my brother Malice locked up, and she's got to figure out a way to separate Malice from Zarkan. So her first thought is, of course, consult the codex. But to do that, again, we're going to need captives, slaves, quote unquote. We'll get them. And to get them, I decide, hey, I'll do Morathi's quest battle. I mean, it's pretty fun. We get to fight some high elves. I'm sure Morathi will like that. And there should be plenty of Elgi slaves to go around, so it looks like a good time for me. Starting off the battle, there's 1 army in the front. I just cut Melkov, some Morathi, and a couple shades, and it's able to deal with it pretty effectively, to be honest. My army is looking pretty strong. But the second army is coming down from the gate to Old One up there. As I come down, the Morathi should be able to tear them up. That's the goal. We already tore down the right flank. Now the left flank coming down from that hill. But the Morathi fire is just so intense. I mean, every shot just deletes an entire infantry unit. And this is the nerfed Medusas too. They used to be even stronger like a couple patches ago. So wow, these Morathis, I love them a lot. I love them a lot. Maybe some ways I shouldn't, but hey man, I didn't design the models. But we win that battle pretty easily. Capture the slaves, you know how it goes. And it's not going to be enough yet to get Malice and Zarkan separated, but we're doing pretty good progress. Now, what's really going to give me good progress is me fighting this Yombo battle. I don't even need to fight it because we get a close victory because Yombo's running a peasant stack. Peasants versus Dark Elves. Yeah, buddy, we got that one easy. And look what we got. 20 minus Winds of Magic cost. Yeah, buddy. Morathi is about to be so strong. So we'll continue pressing on Yombo's territory. We'll take the floating periods. We'll take the High Sentinel. We'll take his whole lands. We're taking everything from my guy. This guy is the Nerd Dragon for a reason. He's not the executioner, he's getting executed, and that allows us to get enough slaves for the next event. So after getting enough slaves and sacrifices, kind of freaky, Morathi gets the knowledge she needs from the codex. She walks into the dungeon where Malice lies. He's there, locked up. He is saying some very mean things to her. He says, I will enjoy killing you, hag. Never bring up a woman's age, Malice. Come on, bro. You have to be respectful to women. You know how we do it on the War God channel. I would not stand for anything else. But he just continues being super rude to Morathi. And Morathi has some smug comments of her own, telling him if he likes it, being in the dirty, damp underground. and Malice is getting visibly annoyed. Her plan is to give this purple jug to Malice, which will put him in a drowsy state that allows Zarkan to partially manifest on a certain part of his body.
What do you mean by that?
And it's only upon that state where Morathi has the potential to slice off Zarkan from Malice. Now, some of you with 189 IQ like me might already see where this is going, but things are gonna get really bad for Malice really shortly, and Morathi gives him the purple potion. He is tweaking out, he's spazzing. Poor Malice, but maybe he shouldn't have been so disrespectful. Now again, we have two choices in this scenario. We can either take a clinical analysis and do only what needs to be done and nothing more, or we can do the other option where we do some extra research. And you know what? As a man with 189 IQ myself, I always have to do that extra research. So you know what? I'll do the extra research and I'll, take a small taste. I don't know what she's tasting. Maybe she's tasting the purple chug jug herself. I'm sure it tastes like grapes or something. And Morathi and Malice are already starting to see results from drinking the special purple jug mayonnaise mix. I'm gonna call it my creation, and I will be calling this the Sineshi Lean. The Sineshi Lean is going to provide +1 control to all provinces, -3 hit points, -3 leadership, -3 attack. So I mean, maybe it's not great, and maybe these effects will go more later. If we would have done the other option, these would have actually been buffs from Morathi. It would have been ward save, melee attack, melee defense. So you can kind of think of it, there's two options. You either buff Morathi, or you buff whoever Morathi's captive is. Now Malice, he got a buff. He drank that Sineshi Lean, and he's feeling good. 10 ward save, 20 leadership, 15 melee attack, 15 melee defense, 50 armor piercing, 10 leadership for the whole army. Oh my god, he gets so much. But Malice, oh, this is probably the last good thing that will ever happen in your life. I'm so sorry, Malice. You guys are gonna understand really soon on why I'm apologizing so much to Malice. But we need 25 more 100 captives to learn the exact process of severing Zarkan from Malice. I'll continue using the Cathayans as my little farm. We attacked the island of Christmas Skulls. A bunch of little Grand Cathayans, and yummy, yummy, yummy. Look at that, a bunch of slaves. Now, I don't support that at all, but I'm just playing the game, okay? Dark Elves, we got a lot of them, and we're already moving up pretty easy in the ranks here. We'll just keep pushing south, and we'll also attack Marcus Wolfheart too. He's got a lot of little Empire men, which can hopefully fuel our Dark Elf economy. We're gonna attack one army here, one army there, one army there, until we get enough slaves, at least hopefully. His armies are kind of scattered, but we also just have a lot of armies of our own, so it should be okay. I got a Black Ark over here, and I sent Crone Hellebron because I don't want it to get attacked by itself, because there was two Marcus Wolfheart armies right next to it. Lokir, I found him over in Grand Cathay, and I give him some treaties because I want to confederate him before he dies, because right now he has one settlement, which is quite concerning to say the least, so I'm hoping he doesn't die. But the next turn hits, and we did get enough sacrifices to get the next freaky event. So the Codex gives Morathi some certain steps to take to sever Malice from Zarkan. Now, if you remember, from giving the Codex sacrifices, she's able to make an even better Super Chug Jug Slurp Juice Deluxe Edition, which is going to make the entirety of Zarkan pooled into one area of Malice, and if she's able to sever that part, then she'll be able to capture Malice and take his power for herself, hopefully being able to stave the negative effects of Sineshi corruption. We'll have to see that ultimately works out though. Malice is not doing too hot down in the Dark Elf dungeons. It's not a very nice place. But when Morathi comes there, he's actually a little happy to see her. He's like, wow, Mommy Morathi, I'm trying to repent, I'm so sorry. And then Mommy Morathi says, you're not getting freed, my guy. Sorry, we need to take over Oath One, and you are going to be the sacrifice to do it. I'm sorry, but there's something I must do. And Malice drinks the Super Deluxe Chug Jug, and he unleashes the beast like Mr. Beast. And he's feeling big and strong. He blows up like a big balloon, and he needs to hit the gym right away. So he starts hitting 225. Bam, 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 bench press, squat, deadlift. He hits them all, and Morathi helps him out as a good personal trainer, making sure that Malice is nice and strong for the next part of the ritual, because we all want to get jacked together, brother. After both of them make some massive gains, we get the next set of the buffs here. You can see it's kind of what we had last time, just more control loss, more HP loss. And same thing with Malice. One thing he does get cool is his entire army is unbreakable. Now, I still can't actually use Malice because he's locked up for 999 turns until we actually complete his full quest line. So we can't use him yet. But in the meantime, I'm going to get some more slaves, get some demons. I didn't know you could use them, brothers, as slaves, but apparently you could. Dark Elves make it work. And we'll end the turn there. And it turns out, despite me killing 2 armies, there's another on the way. Pyrrhic victory, we lose pretty much all our forces. So that's a bit of a long day. We also lose that settlement too. But, it's okay. We lose the Lord there. But that's enough sacrifice, so we're able to get the final event here. And this one, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what must be done. It's out of my hands. We finally have enough sacrifices, and the Codex finally reveals exactly how Morathi can get Zarkan from Malice and separate them. She has the Super Chug Jug, she has the high protein, and she gives it to Malice. And Malice takes the high protein, and he is bigger than he's ever been before. He's feeling jacked. The pump is nice. He's looking shredded. He's looking like he's 260, ready to beat up anybody. But at the height of his workout, when he's about to hit a new PR on bench press, Morathi gets a knife, and his little Zarkan goes. And yes, when I say his little Zarkan is gone, it's gone. And Malice, he's not in a great state. Guys, we all need to pour one out for Malice. Let's have a moment of silence for Malice. I'm sorry, Malice. It wasn't me, bro. I wouldn't have made that choice. But it's telling me I had to do it, bro. It wasn't my choice, you know? So yeah, Malice and Zarkan now are officially separated, and it actually is true. He's not able to transform into Zarkan anymore. He's half the man he used to be. Oh man, he used to be the 10-inch master, and now he's only the 3-incher pincher, but hey man, game is game. But we need to continue on and make this ritual all worth it, so we're gonna have to take Zarkan and absorb him into Morathi so that she's able to get more in tune with Slaanesh and hopefully be able to counter some of Slaanesh's devious tricks. We have two options here, the domination mode and the subination mode. I like going for the subination modes because to me they sound more interesting. The difference between them, subination mode, she takes Zarkan's gift with more kindness, and in the domination mode, she takes his gift with less kindness. And you know the War God channel is all about spreading kindness, so of course we're gonna take the subination mode.
Hello.
And that's the next stage completed. Let's go, baby. Trait gained, scarred for life. A core part of Malice has been irreparably severed from him, despite endeavoring to remove himself from Zarkan, doing so in such a way that was beyond his wildest imaginations. Like an old bickering couple, his relationship with his inner demon could never have been described as good, but it was also an integral part of him. He will never feel whole again, but he will live through it. Had Zarkan forcibly severed from you, passive ability, Zarkan severed. I'm so sorry, Malice. Now, in terms of what the actual trait does, minus 10 melee defense, minus 10 melee attack, minus 15 leadership, minus 15 damage resistance, minus 25% mass. And of course, we lose the ability to transform his Zarkan because he had his little Zarkan chopped off. At the very least, for whatever Zarkan lost, Morathi gained. And she is now called the Shadow Queen, and she is on to stage 2 now. And she's pretty damn strong, especially with the Yuan bow buffs and all the stuffs. Ignore the pink text. I assure you do not want to read it. It's not gonna make you smarter, okay guys? We're only here to get smarter here. Of course, we get the trait, fashion Zarkan into your accessory. Zarkan, by the way, is in Morathi's heels now, in case you were wondering. He got absorbed into her heels. Don't ask me how that works, but they're in her heels now, so she's got some dripped out demon boots. Pretty drippy, Morathi. What she gets from all this is minus 5 cooldowns to spells, passive abilities Zarkan bound, and 1,000 barrier hit points. All pretty cool stuff. Now, what exactly is this card? Not even sure if I can say that, but I assure you I'm just talking about a water gun. Anywho, the description is a twist of the wrist and a squirt. The resulting fireball coats foes in sticky white flames. I'm not sure I've ever heard of sticky white flames before, but maybe it's like Spider-Man. Yeah, it's probably like Spider-Man. And this is the main effect Morathi gets from absorbing Zarkan, along with the white sticky fireballs. Malice, he sacrificed everything for the Druki, and you will be remembered. He will go down as a war hero for what he's lost and will never regain. I'm so sorry, Malice. But I'm not gonna lie, Malice, that was worth it. The new Morathi motto goes crazy. And all the new spells, the white sticky fire, the wand buffs, the barrier. Morathi is becoming the absolute queen she always was. I love Mommy Morathi so much, and she's so damn bad. After that, we'll end the turn and we'll continue progressing. We get an event here for Elon Life Quencher, a Shroud of Death, pretty cool. We get an event for Elon Life Quencher, which is pretty cool. But what's more important is we get the next freaky event. What do we need to do next? The next part of Morathi's plan involves taking the initiative to go up against Slaanesh. But before she can do that, she's gonna need to ally with one of the most powerful mages in the settings, Teclis. Yes, that brother is pretty much, I'd say, better than Morathi in spellcasting, but he's really strong, and she's gonna need his help because her plan is to betray N'Kari and bind him to her will to get a 1-up on Slaanesh. But to do that first, we're gonna need to control the Shrine of Cain. Now luckily, I've actually already done that, and I'll need to have 10k gold in reserve, which I've also done that because you know we got that dark elf. Oh, money. So the way Morathi was able to come up with this plan was actually due to the help of the Codex. She asked it, how do I get the 1-up on Slaanesh and take over Ulthuan? And I told her, you need to ally with Teclis. No matter how strong you may be, it's not going to be enough against N'Kari and Slaanesh herself. So you're going to need to ally with Teclis so that in one fell swoop you can take over both Ulthuan and Slaanesh. Say, that's pretty good. Now, Morathi is feeling the effects, though, of having Zarkan absorb into her. She's feeling different than she used to before, and she's not able to concentrate as much on her spells and really anything. So she needs to get the 1-up on Slaanesh fast, because if she waits too long, she's going to become another pawn in the Great Chaos game. And Morathi, she wants to be the player, not the played. So Morathi schedules a meeting with Teclis at the Altar of Cain, where Morathi starts her scheme. She tells Teclis, listen Teclis, remember that whole Sundering fiasco? I want to reverse it. It's time for the High Elves and the Dark Elves and the Wood Elves even to reunite and become the strongest elf powerhouse there's ever been, take over the world, and fully remove demons from the entire world with the new United Elves. And Teclis, of course, he's a smart guy himself, and he's like, listen you old bitch, I don't believe you for 1 second. And so Morathi makes a ballsy play here and says, listen, you can trust me. He hands him the Sword of Cain. And he said, look, I will give you all this power of the Sword of Cain. I will allow you to have it and give you a bunch of money. Just listen to my deal. All I want is your help in capturing N'Kari, and we can go from there. And eventually, after a lot of deliberation, Teclis does accept this deal because Morathi is pretty convincing, if you know how she is. On the campaign map, Teclis actually takes over the Shrine of Cain that I used to own, which is actually a pretty cool detail that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, he owns the Shrine of Cain now, and we do actually lose the Sword of Cain on the girl that had it. But we get our next quest, capture N'Kari. Now we've officially gone against Slaanesh at this point. The Dark Prince is not going to be very happy about us taking one of his strongest greater demons to use for our own power. But hey, game is game. I instantly start recruiting a bunch of armies. Malice I re-recruit next to the Gaian Vale. I start getting some Treekin. I start getting some Witch Elves all over the place. Demonettes all over the place. I want to make sure we have enough to absolutely crush N'Kari. Now, N'Kari I do have a military alliance with right now, so when I betray him, I'm going to instantly go to very low reliability, which can spiral this campaign out of control and cause a bunch of people to declare war on me, and things can get pretty bad. But I don't have a choice here, really. If I wait too long to attack N'Kari to wait at that full 10-turn timer, it's going to be over 100 turns and I'll lose the campaign. N'Kari knows it too. Look at this brother. He tries to get me to join war against Teclis. No, N'Kari, I'm not going to do that. You are next on the chopping block, little bro. I send literally all my armies to attack N'Kari. And one thing I also do is I use the alliance points I build up to take one of his armies. I'm not really sure what I'll do with it, but I'm hoping I can find some battles and fight them to hopefully get the army low, and then I won't have to deal with it in the future. That was at least the plan. So we're getting them from the inside and the outside. A Lithonar coming in with a Shadow Walker stack from the north, a bunch of Dark Elves coming from the south and inside of Ulthuan. Now Morathi is in Grand Cathay after taking a sea lane, taking over N'Kai's settlement, but eventually N'Kai has had enough of this and he goes to attack Morathi, and you know what? I put the Forbidden Rodder on both of my sorceresses, nothing weird about that, and I get ready to fight N'Kai because I want to see how strong is the new Mommy Morathi. I think she could fight any enemy. She's my queen. She's got this. Starting off the battlefield, you already know how it goes. Morathi harassing the backline. There's a lot of dinosaurs here, so I'm going to want to cast a bunch of Soul Stealers to hopefully just suck them down before they actually get to my front line. Because if they do get to my front line, that shit is like 2 infantry units and a Treekin, so it's not necessarily the most tanky thing in the world. I even tried to snipe this initial lord here with a Master in the front and Morathi in the back, but he ultimately just peels them off and doesn't really give a shit. It was honestly pretty impressive. Now what I do want to try out is that new spell, the Sticky White Fire. Is it more effective than normal fire? Let's test it out. 1 second, boom. Okay, it might just be Blue Fire of Tzeentch, but you know what? It's coated in the white sticky stuff, so I'm sure it'll be extra effective. They are getting some Cav in my backline here onto my shade. They might be hybrid, but they still don't really want to be fighting Cav and melee. And you can see a nasty burning head goes down, and not even a burning head, it's a laser. Oh yeah, oh gosh. things are already going to complete shit. We're getting rained on by the salamanders, getting lasered from the laser. Morathi trying to soul stealers for salvage what she can, but the Medusas aren't having the opportunity to fire because they're getting dived on so fast, so they're having to go into melee. While they're decent in melee, it's not crazy, and a big comment comes down, destroying another one of my shades. We're going for spell right now, and I'm kind of losing. They have multiple casters. I have multiple casters too, but I only really want to be casting with Mommy Morathi because she has the most powerful spells in the setting. So, oh my gosh, she stroked the Forbidden Rods too to get some more Wham. We really just want to be spamming out Wham here because things are going really bad, really fast for me. My entire front line is collapsed. A couple of my shades are destroyed from spells, and the salamanders and solar engines. I've never seen so much firepower coming out of Lizardman before. Just absolutely lighting me up. And no matter how many Soul Stealers and big sucky vortexes I pull out, they keep on coming at me, man. And it's looking really rough for me at this point. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this one. I might have been off more than I could chew. We do have Mommy Morathi still, though, and you already know how jacked she is right now. So maybe we can pull this one back. You can see Nakai and the other Crocscore here just completely in my backline. Absolutely duking it up with me. I'm going to cast a soul bolt from the sky, but I think I actually do more damage to my own shade, so that's kind of stupid out of me. Let me check this out. It does do some good friendly fire, so yeah, that was pretty dumb with me. Big Soul Stealer comes down though. I try to group them up with the Master so they can all attack him, but eventually, you know what? I'm like, shit, my entire army's dead. There's only one thing left to do. Mommy Morathi, please save me. And she's gonna run around the sky, shooting him with the white sticky fire, and hit him with the big sucky and the small sucky, and hopefully that'll be enough to win this battlefield. I don't know, but we'll just have to see. I mean, this goes on for a long time. Morathi gets shot up by the salamanders, but luckily she's really fast and she does have that barrier, so I can replenish her HP. Now she is running out of regen now. I believe she's already hit her heal cap, so that's not good. We have two casters as well and one random shade in the background. That random shade's going to allow me to not have to land, so I'm just going to want to keep him hidden in stealth mode, while Morathi just continues casting spell, and Mommy Morathi lands in the end, takes down a Stegodon, takes down a Kai, and we end up winning the battlefield. I'm not gonna lie, did I deserve that win? No, but you know what? I put all my time, all my effort into making Mommy Morathi as the most powerful creature that she could possibly be. And all those buffs, they clearly added up, because she basically soloed that Nakai stack. Yeah, look at those kills. 1,062 kills on Morathi alone. Oh my gosh. And this is with Lizardman armies with a ton of monsters as well. Oh my gosh. My army got washed really fast, and we did take heavy loss, so we lost 2 Medusies from that one. So it was still a big loss for me, but at least we were able to win by relying on Mommy Morathi's girthy strength. And we actually get Nakai's defeat trait. BVI 10, pretty good. White sticky stuff too. Was it that good? No, I think it's just a reskin Blue Fire, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But listen, the white sticky stuff, it's always with us. When all else fails, the white sticky stuff is here to save the day. I'm gonna recruit some R-Wars too right away to replenish Morathi's numbers. I'll get a Medusi and a Hydra. I want Morathi to have one of the strongest armies in my campaign because she's going to be fighting a lot of these major quest battles. Now Morathi goes on and pushes on these guys. I don't want to lose any more shades though, so I will fight it in melee. Big sucky, small sucky, and you know, that's all you need to do to win the battlefield. Pretty easy. Bye. She also gets her HP back because obviously she does have the regeneration. Pretty dang strong. She continues pushing up to Hachai because I want to retreat and make sure I get my numbers back. And in the next turn, Nakari actually decides to attack Eltharion with a decisive victory. I'll just auto-resolve it, but this will allow me to actually reduce. Look at that. He took so much damage from that auto-resolve. And then I'll also send that army that I took over to fight a little pirate battle. And that army will also take tons of damage on auto-resolve. And this means that Nakari is weak and he's ready to get pounced on as all my armies are converging on his location as we speak. Oh, Nakari's in for a bad time. Usually he's doing that, but today, Nakari's going to have to be the receiver of all these Dark Elf gifts. Elon Musk is going to be the one to take off Nakari's head, or is it Crone Hellebron? I'll go with the Elon Musk rat, and he's going to attack Nakari with 2 big Dark Elf stacks. This is not even close. We'll take his head off. Bye-bye, Nakari. Boom, 22,000 gold for destroying Nakari. That's a number I like. We even get his defeat trait too, +6 speed for all of Elon Musk's army. And we complete the quest battle, and we actually do confederate the Seekers of Sinesh because of that. I didn't realize this. I should have probably guessed at this point that I was going to confederate them, but I didn't realize it. I wouldn't have sent that one army to die if I had known, but game is game. I think I only lost 1 actual demonette. And we also get this new building here in Nakari's province. We actually able to get Chosen. I'll use slaves instantly to recruit that, because Chosens with whip, that's some of the most tanky infantry in the game. Hell yes, I'm going to get that in Malice's army. Chosen with whips plus Malevolent Treekin. That is never falling. I definitely want to get that in Malice's army right away. I don't even know what in the game. You'd have to like burst them down with Sisters of Avalorn, guns, rockets, that sort of thing to actually burst down an army, and we get the next event here. This event is essentially going in the aftermath of the N'Kari battle. The roar of battle surrounds you, Druki scream in bloody triumph as they tear into the demon ranks. Flying into the air on your dark Pegasus Sulafet, you deftly avoid the slashing claws of a harpy and decapitate it with a flick of Heartrender. The head spins lazily away from you, plummeting into the melee below, and below her is N'Kari. He's over there destroying the Dark Elves, so Morathi and Sulafet dive towards N'Kari. She sweeps below his massive claw, and N'Kari says some foul language to her, not very nice of you, N'Kari. And Morathi keeps just weaving and dodging like she's in the Matrix, but eventually N'Kari does hit her. He hits Sulafet, and she goes crashing down into the floor. Luckily though, Morathi is so strong, she's unfazed by this, and she gets back up and starts some incantations, walking to N'Kari with all that aura in tow. N'Kari is disrespecting her. He doesn't believe she's got the power to take him on, and is not putting no respect on her name, and is just laughing at her as she slowly walks forward towards him. But then N'Kari sees below him a huge purple light comes under N'Kari as Morathi's bones start to crack as she casts one of the most powerful spells she's ever cast in her life. And N'Kari at this point is still okay. He's like, whatever, it's just you. I can fight your magic with my own. But then behind N'Kari, a portal opens up and his eyes go wide as he recognizes the presence of Teclis coming out of a blue portal behind him. N'Kari yells some not nice words at Teclis. N'Kari says, F you, Teclis. And together with both Teclis and Morathi casting binding spells on N'Kari, they're able to trap him and ultimately win the battle. And N'Kari, he's quite upset at this, and even Slaanesh himself is quite upset at this. But ultimately it's a win for both the High Elves and the Dark Elves. But the real question is, what is Morathi's next plans for N'Kari now that he's trapped and locked up? And because this plan worked out so well, Teclis is actually open to further joint action with Morathi because he's like, hey, maybe she's not so bad. Maybe she's not a scheming biatch. And that was Teclis' biggest mistake. So N'Kari gets wounded after that battle, and obviously we confederated his faction, but we can't use him, of course, until we actually complete all the quests. But we do get a little bit buffs right out the start here. Plus 100 barrier, minus 5% HP points. So it's kind of like a side grade, I would say. I mean, barrier is pretty strong. It's definitely an upgrade overall. But we get more targeting range, barrier, hit points, minus, pretty good overall. But we should be able to get even more later on. While N'Kari actually gets buffs because I picked the red option. Leadership plus 10 mass, plus 10 melee attack, plus 10 melee defense, armor piercing, weapon strength, and leadership for the whole army. That's really good for N'Kari. N'Kari is going to become an absolute tank if I'm able to complete all the events and actually get him into an army. But of course, first we need 2,500 more captives to progress. So Lustra ends up attacking us at the Hotek's column. I guess she wasn't for obeying the peace treaty, but we still beat her anyway, so haha. She attacks towards her node where we don't have any defenders. That's a long day. Also, Bretonia attacks one of my armies I was settling down. This was Malice's Black Ark. It was like a tier 5, and it's dead. So, yeah, War God's luck with this Black Ark's not very good, but whatever. We have enough force at this point. We should be okay. But what's more important is us collecting all the captives that we need. We take out the Skaven army because they should have tons of troops. We just put a bunch of people in there, and he just absolutely gets washed with all these Slaanesh armies. Pretty good. And we'll also continue pressing on Bretonia. And that's enough captives to actually get the next event already. Morathi walks into the familiar dungeon we've seen many times before, and there lies N'Kari. Now, N'Kari, from taking this binding ritual, he's physically smaller now. N'Kari is more an actual size of a human now as opposed to his giant greater demon form where he's like 20 feet tall. So he's normal human size now. Well, a little bit bigger. He's like 8 foot, think like Shaq size. So N'Kari is sitting there in the dungeon, and he is quite angry at Morathi. How dare you betray Slaanesh, my patron god? He will have your head for this. But Morathi really doesn't give a shit, to be honest. And she has a familiar vial, the purple chug jug. You already know how it is. The pink drink is N'Kari's time to have a little bit of it. The spell she's going to be casting this time is she's going to be taking N'Kari's authority of Slaanesh and absorbing it into her own body. But she's going to have to make sure that he drinks the purple chug jug and then forcibly bind N'Kari to her and own him, which we don't approve that, but he's a demon, so, you know, he's a bad guy. And then she'll have the authority of Slaanesh and be able to resist his gifts and only get the power, but not the drawbacks. So that's the goal. Let's see how it ultimately works out for good old Morathi over here. Why is it spiky? Why is it spiky? Ah! Okay, I'm back. I've calmed down now. What I meant by it was spiky was that Morathi uses a spiky stick to poke N'Kari and make him listen. And every time N'Kari doesn't listen, She pokes him with the stick and Nakari's like, ouchie, that really hurts. And he eventually gives in and says, rah! And Morathi chops off his tongue when he sticks his tongue out at her, cause that's disrespectful. Come on, Nakari. And she eats the tongue.
Yummy.
Little bit weird. And she gains the authority of Slaanesh. Now she has the ability to command Slaanesh demons and absorb Slaanesh's power without getting corrupted. Which Morathi might already be corrupted, but it's the thought that counts. But why was it spiky? That's the only question I want to answer to. After whatever the hell that was, I'm just going to continue attacking Bretonnia. They're one of the strongest factions left in this game, so I'm sending all the forces I have against them. You can see Elithanar has a pretty good stack. We'll also send his other army here onto Castle Artois, and hopefully take that one. While this army of Slaanesh I pull back here to take out Telustra, who decided to intrude on my lands. She's definitely going to be regretting doing that. I get Lothern to tier 5, and I use some slaves to get it up there. And then I finally get tier 5 of the port city as well, and you can see I get income generated, diplomatic relations, tradable resource for the whole faction. Hey, that's pretty good. And we pass the turn. We do get counterattacked by Bretonnia, but it's okay. I know, man, we're good. Why do you listen? I didn't want to fight it, okay? I didn't even really care about the Slaanesh armies. I just had them because they were fun, okay? The only armies that matter are the Dark Elf ones, okay? We get another event, but after that, the real event happens. Morathi is sitting at the head of the table, a magnificent dish cooked by the best chefs in Nagaroth. But as she's eating it, she feels different. She feels strange. But while she's eating the food, she enjoys it a lot, like a little bit too much. It's a little weird. And I don't think it's the way it's cooked. The Slaaneshi influence has changed her a lot in many, many ways. When she eats things, she enjoys them more. When she walks outside, she enjoys it more. She just enjoys a lot of things more. And she also looks pretty different now. Now, Nakari is taking note of this. While his size has been reduced even more and he's even further bound to Morathi, he's the size of an average man now. But Nakari decides to stir some trouble at the dinner table and tries to do one last sussy maneuver to regain control. Now, ultimately, will I let this happen? Hell no! Get your freaky ass out of here, Nakari. Morathi is the queen only for me and not for you.
Hello.
After that event, some new things happen. So because of what happened to Nakari, now that he's bound to Morathi, he has had his Whispers of Glory disabled, and he actually loses 10 melee attack, 10 melee defense, as well as 20 mass and 20 speed. So he got buffs and then he got nerfed, so it's kind of the same Nakari. I actually say this is a little bit a nerfed Nakari, but he's still pretty strong, so I'll definitely be using him, and I'll be recruiting a really nice and juicy army for him to use. As well as Morathi, she continues to get that buff here with targeting range HP barrier hit points. I think it's just a visual bug because I'm pretty sure I am on the tier 2 of this one, so it's 20% for spells, minus 10 for HP, and 200 barrier points. While Nakari has the same thing, his stats double, but he also lost a stat, so it kind of equals out. But what's really important is the new Slaanesh trait that we gained. As always, ignore the pink text. I'm sure it's nothing important, but we get some really good buffs at this point. 40 diplomatic relations with all factions, minus 10 upkeep, plus 15 HP points, 30% battle healing cap, minus 20% Vigor loss, 15% speed, unit mass 25, spell resistance minus 15, minus cooldown to spells, Mark of Slaanesh, and irresistible alert. We'll figure out what that does soon, but Morathi is definitely getting to that point where she is a one queen doom stack. I don't even know if she needs an army, but I'll give her an army anyways, because you know, my queen needs an army to lead. Now, what a resistible alert does is it's an AoE debuff for enemies, so minus 20% charge bonus up to 40% depending on how long she's been in melee, and minus 5 leadership up to 10, minus 9 melee attack up to 18? Wait, if you combine Nakari's Heartrender Darksword, Enchanting Beauty, which is minus 5, that's minus 10, and then plus minus 18 potentially, minus 28 melee attack in AoE. Oh yeah, the enemy is cooked. I like to see Nakai try what he did last time. He's gonna find out real fast. That's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. I'm not sure who could beat Nakari at this point. Not Nakari. I'm not sure who could beat Morathi at this point. You're gonna need to be like Korn with an 80 melee attack to even have a chance of hitting my queen. The new Morathi model, oh yeah! This is definitely my favorite one so far. It changes her color scheme to be black and gold, which is magnificento. As well as giving her some black pants that happen to be tight, which is pretty nice. She's now the Shadow Queen. Power, aura. She's so bad, and I love her so much. Mommy Morathi, please, I need it. Next turn, we also get the next event. In this event, we have to recruit somebody in the Shrine of Asturion, as well as having 50,000 gold to give away. That's kind of a steep, even for me, because I'm really running low on funds, because I just have so many armies and so many enemies all wanting to take my head. Now, if you notice, I recruited an army at the Shrine of Cain, and it said the Shrine of Asuryan. I didn't know this at the start. It took me until next turn until I realized, oh yeah, I'm a dumbass, and a Shrine of Asuryan is not the Shrine of Cain. So I was just thinking about the Shrine of Cain. It's much cooler than the Shrine of Asuryan, in my humble opinion. But ultimately, I recruit an army there, move it, and I complete that event, because I did manage to scrounge up 50k gold. This event starts at the next meeting of Teclis and Akari. Teclis is late, insultingly late, as though he taunts you. But Morathi needs him, so she's willing to wait and bite her tongue. Eventually though, Teclis does pull up with a portal, trying to aura farm. What are you doing, my guy? She wishes to finally end the Sundering and reunite the High Elves and the Dark Elves, but she needs Teclis' help to do that. She tells him, please get all the high lords and high ladies of the elves into a room so that she can convince them to undo the Sundering, to make them the strongest force in the entire world, eliminating all the daemons. And Teclis does not believe her. He is like, listen, bitch, I know your tricks. I'm Teclis. I'm not another one of these bots for you to manipulate. But Morathi is, let's say, quite convincing to Teclis. And eventually he's like, listen, I'll give you one chance, but don't mess this up. You only got one chance, one shot, and one opportunity. Because he also does want to see the Sun reunited. Because if the elves were to reunite in the setting, they're definitely the strongest faction. It's not even close. The Chaos Gods would be crying themselves to sleep, and elves would reclaim their place as the #1 faction, the Golden Race. But of course, Morathi has other plans for this, and we'll see what they are in a little bit. Now, the next part of Morathi's plan is a little bit on hold, because Teclis did speak with Esser Lords, but none of them really wanted any sort of reconciliation with Morathi. They don't really give a crap about her, so she has to come up with a way to convince them to actually join in on this meeting. And to do that, she has an idea. She dispatches Malice, we know what happened to him, but apparently he's still loyal. She dispatches him to the homelands of Tyrion and Illyrio. So while Tyrion and Illyrio are distracted fighting Malice, she's gonna go into the courts of Ulthuan herself and see just how persuasive she can actually be. But of course, first we have to fight that quest battle with Malice's army. I didn't know this was coming up. I just happened to get really lucky, because Malice's army is pretty damn strong at this point. You'll see it in a little bit. 6 Chosen, 6 Shades, and 5 Treekin. Now, the caster is really low level because she's freshly recruited, but I mean, Chosen plus Treekin? I didn't check their forces before starting the battle, but I'm sure Malice has this. Now, I won't lie, I was a little scared when I first saw this army. We got Tyrion himself, Phoenix Guard, Archers, Dragon Princes, Silver Helms, White Lions. Not the most intense army, but I see a little reinforcements expected. And if you actually read the thing, it said Illyrio and Tyrion, so hopefully Illyrio's army is not too strong, and this battle could get dangerous really fast. And I don't have Mommy Morathi to save me. And remember, Malice cannot transform into Zarkan. His little Zarkan is chopped off. Despite having his little Zarkan chopped off, Malice is still quite strong, so I send him into the fight right away. And by the way, Scissors of Avalorn are like the perfect counter to Treekin too, so I kind of got pretty damn unlucky. Of course, Warguy would bring the fire weakness with physical resistance against the magic fire causing Archer. It's a long day. That also does AP, because they're armored as well. It's just like the full counter. It's a long day. And she actually has Swordmasters as well, which are also going to chop through the Chosen of Slanesh, like the best unit they could possibly have to chop through the Chosen of Slanesh. Of course they have. Of course they'd have. I'm thinking that this game has it out to get me at this point, but whatever. We're just gonna have to fight this battlefield, and we definitely can lose this one. It's definitely not no spring chicken easy like. You can see we've already had one Chosen almost completely obliterated, and Illyrio catches a banishment of her own. I didn't know the AI even knew how to aim spells, but apparently they do. And one Chosen is pretty much already taken off the census, while a Treekin has already brought down the half HP. Now luckily the AI is being a little bit stupid in the brain and is blobbing up the infantry. Hopefully I can punish that with a couple nice burning heads here real soon, while all my shades continue just firing on the Swordmasters, which are the one thing in this battlefield that is sure to absolutely destroy my own Chosen. They have that melee attack to burst through, and obviously, you know, anti-infantry AP, not what I will be fighting. Tyrion runs in by himself, and I managed to snipe him up with some of my shades. He takes tons of damage. It's not enough to kill him, but half-healthing him for pretty much free is pretty good. And a nasty burning head is going to come down here, because they blob up their archers in melee. I don't know. I can't save this AI. Luckily, though, they're given just so much force that it doesn't matter too much. But that burning head was nasty. Pretty much taking 3 archers by itself off the census. Now, Tyrion is trying to cycle his cab into my backline here. So I'm trying to run the Treekin as interference while I leave the Chosen to fight off the front line. It works kind of, but one Silverhelm does get into the backline. But luckily, by switching all my shades to it, I'm able to burst it down. And Illyrio, for some reason, also decides to go for my backline despite being more of a caster support role. So I say, hey, screw it, man. I'm going to put all my shades and put a target on her back, and she gets lit the hell up. And she gets taken out in a matter of seconds. Long day for you, Illyrio. We already know that Morathi is the only true queen here. In Ulthuan, there's no room for a second ever queen. Cause Morathi is my forever queen. We do got a Dark Conduit still here. I pop it on the Treekin because they have lower models, so hopefully it can get more contact with the enemy forces here. And it's got pretty good contact. Does tons of damage against some Spearmen and some Swordmasters, which are some of the most dangerous things in the battlefield, so works for me. My Shades are really bunched up at this point though, because the Cav has been constantly cycle charging them, and they've been getting shot by the enemy archers, so I'm going to need to reformat them. I do get another big Burning Hand again. AI loves to blob. I overcast it too to hopefully get some more AP. Phoenix lands on Malice. Malice does take some good damage, and he has no regen. Well, he has regen from the Warp Sword of Cain, but he doesn't have Malice to transform into to bail him out of a bad situation. So it can definitely get dangerous. Tactics is fighting in the front lines. We do finally break off that left flank. That Dark Conduit really helped out just killing those Swordmasters. If we didn't manage to do that, I don't even know what would have happened. But things are starting to look on the come up for the Dark Elf side here. We do have a lot of troops about to die. I'll have to pull them back, or they'll be fully eliminated. The Chosen I can't re-recruit because I can't recruit them in Black Arts. I'd actually have to go back to Alt 1 to get Chosen. So I really don't want to lose any. And a Nasty, I don't even know what that is, goes down there. I couldn't tell you. But it does do damage to my Chosen again, and they're really low. Another Chosen's really low. But we are pushing them on the back. But we break through their front line, and now we're able to just push back their archers. And that's going to pretty much spell victory for me in this battlefield after heavy losses. I pull back my lowest troops here because they still have some stragglers. But ultimately, Malice and Tyrion fight it out for one final duel. But Tyrion gets taken out pretty easily. Malice is quite jacked at this point, and they rout off. And that's army losses, and we win that battlefield. That was way more intense than I thought it was going to be. I love the difficulty in this mod. I love hard stuff. Ayo. Only 12,000 gold seems a little low when some of the other battles I fought were bigger and I got more, but hey, I'll take it. We end up only losing one Shade, which that's relatively easy to recruit, so I wasn't too fussed about that. The big thing was the Chosen, but luckily we completed that battlefield, and now Morathi has the opportunity to progress with the next stage of her plan, and on the next turn, she gets it. All the Asur Lords finally decide to set up a meeting with her at Ulthuan at the Shrine of Asuryan with Morathi to potentially discuss some things. Hopefully we can finally undo the Sundering, reunite the elves, and become the biggest powerhouse in the entire world. But is that Morathi's only plan? We'll see. Morathi tries to explain to them, you know, I didn't really mean the Sundering before, and it was a mistake, it was a little whoopsie, you know, forget about it. The Asur Lords are not having it. They get pretty upset at Morathi, very upset. Like, I would not mess with these guys when they're angry, let me tell you. So Morathi gives them a deal. She says, you know what, how about this? Have a fight with me. We'll duke it out here and now. Mano y mano, man to man, fist to fist, no weapons, no magic, just pure man power. So we can burn off all that previous anger and start anew. And you know, they agree because maybe they're really understanding, or maybe they just wanted to beat up Morathi. I don't know. So they set up an underground fight club at the Shrine of Asuryan, and they start duking it out with Morathi. But these guys aren't very fair. They start double teaming, triple teaming, quadruple teaming, decatillion teaming on Morathi, and that is not okay. That's disrespectful as shit and unhonorable. I thought the High Elves were supposed to be better than that. And ultimately, Morathi definitely does not win the fight in any sort of stretch of imagination. She gets wombo comboed with a 1, 2, 3 from all sides, and it's a long day for her. The High Elves are disrespectful, rude, and cheaters. But ultimately it does work, and it does stave off a lot of that anger that the Asur Lords once had for her. So then they finally reason, okay, a little bit more, if you work with us, we can work with you, but we're going to need to see some more commitment to you, to this plan, to make sure that you're not just trying to scheme us another time. Because of course, we do want the High Elves and the Dark Elves, you know, to be the strongest nation in the world. That would be sick as hell. And ain't that awesome? Just a little bit more, and we are going to become the strongest race, period, in the world when the elves combine. But a little bit more we need to do to get that. Now let me clarify something to you people. If you want to play this and you get to this part, the fighting is not what you'd really call fighting, and it's very strange, and I don't recommend you read it. I'm gonna be honest here. So you've been warned. I'm just giving you a PSA here. Now, after whatever that horror show was, we do get some rewards. We obviously get the defeat traits for both Valerio and Tyrion for Malice, but what's more important is what Morathi gets. Minus 10 upkeep for her entire army, but she does lose minus 5% HP points, as well as minus 7 melee defense. If I were to have chose the green option, I would have gained a lot. Honestly, the green option is probably better here, so if you're going for meta, I would definitely go for the green option. But you know, War God doesn't play for meta, he plays for other reasons. We'll leave it at that. But despite what it may seem, this event was actually pretty successful, and Teclis is a lot more understanding of Morathi's pleas, and even Morathi is feeling not so bad about the High Elves anymore. She's thinking maybe she doesn't want to betray the High Elves. And Teclis offers to join Morathi's ranks, but as him be the leader. But even though he says he's the leader, Morathi is the real leader, because you know how she is. So we're going to actually get a Confederate Teclis here, which is pretty cool. I like seeing the High Elves and Dark Elves together, man. Bring some unity up in these factions that have been divided by so long ago from some of the stupidest writing choices I've ever heard. There we go, we got the Confederation. Let's check out what we actually get from this Confederation, though. Seems like down in the south, he has one settlement in the Fortress of Dawn with 3 armies. Interesting. There's some high elite swordmasters in there. I'll probably just combine 2 of the armies, because I can't really be affording much right now. I'm pretty damn broke. Now, Nakari, I did end up getting him a nice, juicy army of Nagaron Blackguard, Demonettes, and Scourge Runners, and that allows me to push on Mother Estankia. I'm getting revenge for all that time ago, back in the start of the campaign, where that old hag thought she could get one up on the only true, real old hag in the setting, Morathi. We also ambushed some Skaven boys, because we need to get more captives, man. We gotta fuel that economy. And Skaven, they got a lot of bodies. For some reason, they think an ambush of Witch Elves versus a full range Skaven army would make me lose 4 Witch Elves. No, that's not gonna happen. Well, is what I would say, unless I wasn't a dodo bird and cast an overcast flamestorm right next to my own troops. We'll see how that goes pretty soon. But luckily, we did bum rush them pretty hard, and we're destroying them right now. This battle should be over fast. The Flaming Thorn is going crazy. It's going crazy for both factions, because it immediately goes into my own Sisters of Slaughter, and it deletes 1 Sister of Slaughter from the game. I'm very sorry. I didn't realize what was going to happen there. And yeah, but luckily we do win the battle anyways, but we do almost lose the Sister of Slaughter due to my own carelessness. Another Skaven army though comes and attacks me in the next turn, but I'm just going to run away. Luckily they didn't get an ambush on me, because I'm not going to lie, I probably would have lost and died there, but I guess War God was lucky in this scenario. Not much lucky in other things, but at least in that scenario. And with that, that should be the end of the turn. But this turn's not over yet, because we also get attacked by Luwin Leoncourt. I was trying to attack Corona and finally get him finished off, but his force was a lot stronger than I expected. And I don't know if you knew this, but taking a full ranged army against a full cav army, it's not the smartest idea in the world. And I try my best here. I cast Melkoth to slow them down, as well as abusing the lore passive of Shadows, which is plus 10% speed. But that's not really much when you consider all of Luwin's cav has like 78 speed and gets charge bonus. So it was a long day, and ultimately, yeah, taking a full kite build against a full cav build, it does not work out, folks. So take this lesson to your heart. I do actually manage to do some decent damage into him, though. So yeah, I just keep poking him down as much as I can. Melkoth, running with my archers, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, we lose the battlefield, because I don't know what you really thought I was going to do there against the full cav stack. He continues to try to attack me, and he finishes me off. I wasn't able to get away, and that's Lithanar's army dead. Pour one out for Lithanar. We get Teclis quest battle, which is pretty cool, I guess. But what's even cooler than that is the final event, and this is going to take us to the final stage, Tier 3. After working together for some time, Morathi and Teclis are a lot closer now, and they're actually close enough to call each other homies. Like, they're really chill like that. And Morathi has successfully integrated herself with the High Elves and undone the Sundering. I don't know about the Widows, we can get them later on. It doesn't say, but I'm sure they'll join as well. So yeah, the Elves are all reunited into one race, and it's scary. Morathi is super strong, and Teclis, he's fine, and he's friendly with Morathi, and things are just good. It's kind of a kumbaya moment. Teclis, he likes Morathi. Morathi's a fan of Teclis as well. And it's a good time, honestly. They're just have some parties. And they're just throwing a party for the reunification that they've always wanted, the elves. They chase off all the demons from the lands, and they become the strongest faction in the setting. Now, technically, Teclis is supposed to be the one who's leading this, but it's not really Teclis, it's Morathi, because she plays him like a puppet. But hey, that's just what she does. And that's gonna end our final freaky event, because Morathi has finally reached her max power as we've successfully undone the horrible writing of the Sundering.
Hello?
Teclis gains the trait Puppet on Strings, which is quite accurate, plus 40 relations with humans and high elves, but he himself loses campaign movement range, spell resistance, and leadership for his whole army. So I guess getting control of Morathi has some downsides, but I'm sure the upsides are a lot better. Now what Morathi gets is a lot. I don't even know how I'm gonna describe what she gets, but you get minus hit points, minus ward save, but a plus a bunch of mass. 2 special abilities. First, the front of Plejuraro, which gives yourself -8 melee defense as well as a net and the enemy -8 melee defense in a net whenever she casts spells in a 40-meter range. So she casts spells, she's gripped on the floor or gripped in the sky. Definitely not good, because if there's guns near her, archers or cannon, she's gonna die, but no one said the Snesh gifts were good. And the other ability is the Orgas Hikomoro Collar, which will give me -25% speed and -8 melee defense whenever I'm casting spells again. So yeah, definitely overall a nerf. But hey man, you know the real reason we get to this stage in the corruption. The final Morathi, the final corruption, the ultimate model. I don't really have many words to say about it. Wow. It's big. It's nice. I like it. Morathi, 10 out of 10. Cha-ching! Yeah, I don't know. I'm speechless. It's just good, man. It's good. Hey, what can I say? It was definitely worth it, and I'd do it again. Now, there is another Skaven faction here, Snitchgitch, harassing my queen, Miao Ying, so I don't like that, so I'm gonna help out Miao Ying here and take out some of these Skaven Doodle Munchers, and they're gonna have a lot of bodies for me too to fuel the Dark Elf War Machine. I'm also gonna go to Crone Hellebron and continue pushing on the other Skaven over here, Clan Scryer, who tried to attack me and destroy me. Now you're getting destroyed. Take that, Fado. While Admiral Grandistance over here is finally getting that cold 1 stack for Malice. He's able to recruit a bunch now since the Black Ark is upgraded all the way to tier 5. And I'm also going to fight Teclis' battle. I just thought it would be fun, so I said, meh, I guess I'll fight it. I wanted to see what Teclis' army could do. They start off the battlefield by sending out just like a big horde. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this entire time. Teclis has the Sword of Cain, by the way. Yeah, he took it, and he really took the Sword of Cain. Teclis is the Sword of Cain owner now, so I'm able to cast the Sword of Cain, Chain Lightning, Flock of Doom. Teclis is able to just basically destroy tons of elite swordsmen, swordmasters by himself, which is pretty cool. I respect that. Eventually they do make it to my front line, and they do actually chop through my front line pretty effectively. The spiders pretty effectively send, and it seems Malekith was pretty jealous of Tyrion because he actually tries to take the fight to him as well. I guess he thinks that she's only for him, but it's a little bit weird, buddy. I don't think this is Alabama, but whatever. We take him out anyways. You're gonna have to go back to the plastic chair in your hotel room, and we continue poking them down. A War Hydra comes down, and we'll shoot that one up. My entire front line is collapsed at this point, but Teclis is pretty strong, so I'm confident enough Teclis can win this battle. I'm gonna be honest here, but it was a very fun battle. That's really gotta say about it. They attacked me in the hordes, in a choke point. I choked the choke point, and then Tyrion actually comes back. Tyrion's revived, by the way, in this campaign like 3 separate times. This brother cannot stay down, but here he is anyways. Tyrion in his Silverhelm stack is gonna come over here and sweep up the rest of the Dark Elf forces, because my forces are pretty much cooked at this point. It's pretty much just Teclis and some Lothern, but ultimately win the battlefield. Of course we do. Tyrion, bro, you need to rest in your grave. I think that's the final time we'll see Tyrion in this campaign. And we get the Sword of Teclis. Pretty cool. Do I need it? Not really, because I have a way better sword. I have the Sword of Cain. So that's pretty cool. And we get Malekith's defeat trait. That's interesting. But with that, I think I'm going to call the campaign there, because it's pretty much over. Ostanki attacks my armies over here. She attacks Nakari's army, and she does end up killing it. But I'm going to be honest, at this point, I just had so much money and force. The campaign was over, and in terms of the mod, that was the final stage. This mod is technically a work in progress, and it's not fully finished, even though I know it was super detailed and it was just like magnificent, literally some of the best Warhammer. This is better than the base game. I'm gonna say it out flat here. I had way more fun playing this than I've had any other base game campaigns. But you can see we've captured the entire donut. We have allies on all our sides. Everybody pretty much likes us because of all the Sinesh stuff we have. Over in the north we have allies with Wulfric, so there's not really any danger in this campaign. So I think I'm safe enough to call it that we've gotten to the max freak stage. We're allies with both Katerin and Miao Ying, and that's all I ever really wanted. That's all a man like me, War God, ever wanted. Mommy Morathi, she's the queen she always wanted to be, reuniting the elves, undoing the sundering. Morathi, you're amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, this campaign was much longer than my other campaign. Maybe not much longer. Obviously, this campaign was longer than my other ones because I just wanted to finish it all in one video so that you guys could just watch it as like even a cinematic movie. This was obviously a lot of effort, so if you could subscribe and like, it really helps. We're almost at 1,000 subs, and I can finally start making an income from these videos. So that would be pretty cool. I always want to do bigger and better things with every single video. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always trying to improve. And it's kind of hard sometimes to visualize what does better and what does worse in the videos. And I do legitimately take all your feedback from the day one that I started posting content. I'll try to finish up all the campaigns that I haven't done yet, but some of them, they go out of date because of the updates that CA does, even though the updates don't do anything. But yeah, this mod, amazing. Morathi, ooh. Get ready. The next videos on the Workout channel are going to be even bigger, even better, and I really hope you enjoyed. I had so much fun making this, even if it was a lot of work. And I want to see you guys next time so that we can all become the gods of war ourselves. Peace out.